Just check it out for yourself. Follow me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. I know that I was out last week. Wasn't feeling too hot. I was under the weather, so I do apologize. But we are back tonight. We are ready to have some fun. But like I said, I was down and out with something that I guess that's going around right now. So I needed to take a bit of a rest. And I know a lot of people right now are getting ready for traveling. So going up to Missouri this weekend. So I hope you guys get to have some fun. But we're going to go ahead and jump in. We're going to talk about our fun beard fact for the week. And this week I'm choosing pirates, which, I mean, that makes sense. You know, pirates are definitely one of the things that people think about more commonly when it comes to beards. And one of the pirates that gets mentioned or thought about the most is Blackbeard. Now, his real name was Edward Teach, and he was actually a privateer during the Queen Anne's War, then turned to piracy sometime after it. And there was a lot of pirates that, you know, started off as a privateer during wartime and then moved into piracy to go a little bit after. But one of the things that made Edward Teach such a notable figure, what's up, Chicken Wing? Hope you're doing well, brother, was the fact that he had a very large black beard, and it was noted that he would actually tie it up in black ribbons all throughout his beard. Part of the other myth and lore that goes with that is he would actually put candles, or sometimes he would take the wicks from dynamite and stick it in his beard, and it would light it up. And it made him more intimidating and made it a lot easier when he was commandeering a vessel. But the reason why I say this is because our guest tonight actually is a member of Florida's chapter of Mad Viking Beard and Mustache Club, Mr. Nick Mott. And Florida is notorious for pirates, so I wanted to bring him in. How you doing today, brother?
Oh, I'm just peachy. Arg.
Yeah, peachy. Another fun fact about Nick is Nick is very much so a character. If you guys have never had the opportunity to spend time with Mr. Nick Mott, he's one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. His nickname is #puns, and it is definitely a fitting name for this man. The reason why we ended up starting late tonight was Nick was not off work until 7 o'clock and then had to drive home. So we wanted to make sure and get a special start time just so we can get him on here.
Oh,
Where's me?
all for me.
Chicken Wing. Where's me rum? You don't need any rum.
The
Mr.
rum's always gone.
100%. What's up, Kyle?
What's up, Kyle?
So tonight, guys, I'm not drinking rum, but I am drinking bourbon, and I'm drinking it out of the Boston Scully pint glass tonight because I felt like being a little bit different and having a drink to last the whole show.
I'm drinking Michelada. I will not mention a brand name because it's not who I am. It doesn't make me what I am, what I drink.
Oh, we got some good ones in here tonight. Mr. Clinkin Beard, I hope you're doing well, brother. I actually need to talk to you later, so I'll hit you up later on if you don't mind, Shannon.
I believe he's called Chicken Bread. What's up, dude?
That man is a legend in his own right.
He sure is.
If you ever get the chance, matter of fact, if you guys want to, we'll come and commandeer you guys from Florida for next year's You Matter. That is a comp in Texas you definitely need to go to.
I believe I was in a competition with him in Valerico, Florida 2 years back. And I think he came down for that. If I can't remember the name of it right now. My mind is complete crap. But anyways, I did had a chance to compete with him, but not actually get to talk to him too much. Oh, there's Scott Turner, my boy. Scott Turner. Love you, brother. Thank you.
Yep, he confirms it.
gave me this shirt, for Willie.
Yeah, Scott Turner from Jaegerbomb Designs and Beard Mob Tennessee. Big shout out to them. They actually, Beard Mob Tennessee is actually sponsoring the Best in Show for the Bearding Without Borders competition. So big shout out to them. I need to get that posted up.
Got the
And
biggest I've ever seen in my life.
And Jaegerbomb is always doing good stuff, people. And I know he's helped me out a bunch over the last year. So that's another comp you should make out. You should guys, if you guys can make the trip, you ought to make it up for the comp in September up in Nashville.
Oh,
we had a
yeah.
lot of fun last year, and it's going to be even bigger this year. So.
Oh, that'd be quite a trip for us. But yeah, I'd love to do that shit.
So now I know that you live in Florida, but that's not where you're from. So why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit of backstory, man?
Well, I just been about everywhere. I was born, believe it or not, in Lexington, Kentucky.
Really? So okay, I didn't know that.
That might be a reason why, I get a little of my craziness from. I was born in Lexington and I was there till about 2. And then I pretty much moved up to Youngstown, Ohio. Most of my life, but graduated from Austintown Fitch, and then from there I just moved throughout, Eastern Ohio, just right on the PA Ohio border. I've lived everywhere in between there. And then roughly around, it was like 2017. I started growing this ridiculous, just the chin strap bullshit. I was like, if I'm gonna go this far, just and just do that bullshit, just do the whole thing. And that's when I started, growing my beard. And then about a year later, actually, it might have been even before that. It was 2017. That's when I found Mad Viking beard products, and I've been using that. And I'm like, and then I found out that there's clubs. I'm like, that's pretty sweet. And by that time, I was posting numerous times on the club page, the main page. Every day, and I was posting jokes, funny pictures, even doing just ridiculous videos. And then by that time, I found out there's an Ohio chapter and there was a PA chapter. I'm like, okay, where's the Ohio chapter at? And unfortunately, at that time, it was all the way down in Columbus, which was 3 hours from me. But the PA chapter was in Greenville, about 45 minutes from where I lived. I'm like, oh, so I had to, I went through the steps and became a member of the PA chapter. And about, I think it was 2019. Went through I was going through a little bit of a divorce. Just a little one.
Just a little?
Just a little. And that's when I met my current wife, Zephyr, which a lot of y'all know her. Very, very big in the bearding world. She's a big supporter. Hasn't competed, but we've actually been talking lately about her competing. But going back to 2019, moved down to Florida. It was a very, very big decision for me to do. All my family being up there and just making this move down here, and started up the Florida chapter with the rest of the gang. Fox, her, Tim Olcott, Fletcher, and the rest of the soul. Willie was there at the time, and just made a pretty big impact in the state of Florida. I in my personal opinion, I think we did. Getting our flag raised for Florida, and me and Dee Dee got married in August of 2022, and here we are today.
So that kind of goes in. So you've definitely been, since your introduction to the beard community, you've been Mad Viking, and you started in the PA chapter and then went down and helped form the Florida chapter, and that's pretty cool. Like, because you were in you were in the homeland, the home world, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And so you were there during kind of the early beginnings of the club side.
Shoot, you're going to go all the way back to when Jimmy Macco was president, and Elizabeth was still there as VP. And I've met some of the most wonderful people you'll ever meet. Just guys who would just give the shirt off their back for you and just to give you a hand. I mean, hell, John D'Onofrio coming all the way down from Erie, PA, which is about hour and a half drive, just to help me paint my kid's nursery. Just because he wanted to, I can't explain how much love, that the bearding community has.
Oh, absolutely.
It's how much love there is.
And like you said, it's kind of introduced you to a completely different world, and it's done a lot for you. One of the things that I really wanted to talk about was just the things that you've done for the community, and not only in your area, but all around, and just the light of you're kind of I'm trying to think of the best word for it. You're kind of the light in the darkness a lot of times when it comes to Mad Viking. Like, you're always there to crack a joke, have some fun.
I mean, sometimes you got to, man. I mean, you just can't sit back and let darkness just overtake everything. You gotta keep on shining, man. Give it, I always said you're gonna, give me a chance to shine and I'll blind the world.
Whether you got a shirt on or not. So
that's when I really fucking blind everybody.
It's that brief moment of trying to so actually, I'm hoping we can pull up some pictures. What's going on? You got Daniel, Keith, Miss Leslie. You want to talk about some great people? Daniel and Leslie, North Florida Facial Hair Society.
I didn't get a chance to meet Leslie, but Daniel, he's a really sweet guy. And I really want in the future, actually, with the North Florida Facial Society, I would like to get some things going with them and kind of make Florida a big spot on the map for everybody, for the bearding community to kind of just come and do things.
Well, they are definitely the people to work with on that. I think, and that was the reason why I wanted to make the introduction. So for the ones that don't know, me and Haley were down in Tallahassee back in February for North Florida Facial Hair Society's beard competition at the Scottish Highland Games. And we had a great time on that Saturday. And then we turned around and ran straight over to Jacksonville for the Mad Viking Florida meeting. Me, Haley, and then Daniel came along with us and wanted to make those introductions so that there was a way to communicate between the other clubs. And we're going to get into some of the pictures. I love this, by the way. And I love the fact that you have the logo.
Oh, the tats. Yeah. That was actually one of the first things I did when I moved down here. I went to a competition over on the East Coast. It was a beard comp. Unfortunately, I didn't place. However, they had this really sweet raffle going on, and they had a gift certificate that everybody wanted for a tattoo. I put one ticket in amongst the hundreds that are in there, and mine got pulled. And that's what I want. I was like, they're like, what do you want? I'm like, this is what I want. And that's what I got. It was awesome.
So we're going to pull up the panda mask. That's something I do. I didn't get to, I saw briefly, didn't you do you did a panda mask this past year as well, but not the panda mask.
No, the one that I had custom made.
So that's something I definitely want to ask you about, because it's something that I heard a lot about, but I never got the story. What was the whole concept behind the whole panda thing?
Well, do you want me to start back at the beginning of how the panda started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, well, if you got a few minutes.
We got all the time in the world for you, brother.
It was Monsters Ball when I was up at the Conneaut Hotel in Conneaut, Ohio. And that year it was at that very old hotel. And like, you know, my costume was funny at the time, but then like I want to do something that'll like really kind of like stand out or like shock people, I guess. But you know, I was a new dad, so I was there, but like barely had any money. So me and John D'Onofrio did a run over to Walmart, and just going down at that time the Halloween aisles, and I'm just looking around, and out stands that panda mask. I'm like, all right, I can do something with that. So I picked it up, grabbed some fake blood, went back to the hotel. I was like, man, all right, I got to do something fucked up. What can I do? Oh, I got a great idea. Get down to my fucking skivvies, get one of the fucking sheets off the bed of the hotel, tie it into a diaper. And I remember walking out of the room, and I got this blood just smeared on me, and I'm wearing this panda mask, wearing a fucking giant diaper. And I just remember walking out, and I think it was either Sealand's daughter or Hall's daughter was the first person to see me, and just in absolute terror, just looked at it like, oh my God, there's a big dude wearing a panda mask, wearing a diaper covered in blood. And I remember walking down into the main lobby where everybody was at, just in sheer horror, just shocked of me just walking around. They didn't even know who I was. That was another thing. I stayed in character. I didn't take off the mask for at least 15, 20 minutes. Then everybody was really surprised when I took it off. And that's basically where it started. And then every year I was like, all right, I got to do something bigger and better. So next year, I think that's when I was down here. Yeah, I just moved down here. I'm like, what can I do? I came up. Actually, no, it was the year after. I'm sorry. So what can I do? So I found this just a plain, like, there's the mask. That's it. That's the custom job. So
I love it.
Yeah. It's one of those PUBG masks from that video game that it was called PUBG. Why I can't think of it under all of a sudden. Player Unknown Battleground, something like that.
Yeah, it was Player Unknown Battlegrounds. I played it for a little while.
So, anyways, that actually is just a plain black mask, just the eyes and cut out. And I reached out to Crayons. I was like, what can you do to make this panda mask look even more terrible, or even more terror in it? And that's when he drew up that panda face, that one right there. And actually, I have the original art still hanging up in my bedroom, and I see it every morning when I wake up. And I took that picture to a vinyl place with the mask. I said, is there any way you can put this on this mask? They said, absolutely. So that came out into that mask that you've seen with with me on it, or with me wearing it. And I remember asking Crayons, I'm like, how did it feel seeing your art come alive like that? And he said it was just the most amazing thing he's ever seen.
I remember him being very proud of that.
Yeah, that made me happy more than anything, knowing that his artwork came alive. There he is.
He's still to this. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think of him. You know,
we've lost too many good ones, man. Too many.
100%.
Yeah, I get
my chicken wing like that.
I get choked up just thinking about some of the guys and the ladies that we've lost over in the last couple of years. Big names. Yeah.
You know, the funny part is like I remember Patrick talking about doing
Willie.
Mr. Willie. I only got to talk to him like once or twice, I think. So,
Dude, wow, Willie was a talker, man. I don't know how you just talked to him once or twice.
it was one of those things. I mean, hell, me and he really didn't start talking until this past year. You know.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's the bearding world is so huge. They're like, oh, I know that dude. I never got to talk to him though, or I know her, but I never got to talk to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that was kind of the thing is I remember Patrick talking like 100% about that panda mask, and of course I didn't make it to the Monsters Ball that you did it with, but like I remember hearing him rave about it and then doing the panda artwork and stuff like that. And I was like, who is Nick Mott? And then I started seeing like the daily affirmations, and
Yep.
I was like, I can't wait to meet this guy in person. So,
what you see on the screen there, what you seen on the screen there was, I was going through a time where I was like taking people's pictures, and if they're like holding something, I would remove that and replace it with a dilly bar.
Speaking of taking people's pictures and changing them in Photoshop, that is something else that you're very notorious for.
Oh yeah, I mean, if I could take your picture and make something completely wrong out of it, I will.
So, if you guys do not know Mr. Fox, John Turns Fox, he does leather work now.
Yep.
There has been a series of this photo that has floated around, and it's all about him being in a bikini. And one of these days, I'm going to get him on to talk about that. He is way too comfortable in women in a bikini, just for the record. Yes, thank you.
Unfortunately, I've seen him in less.
You know, I have too. And
not by choice, but
just enough to make you go, ugh. But
things that make you go, buh. Oh yeah, that was a good one.
So, and this is what I meant by early on in the episode when I said that, you know, that Nick is a character. Nick you're one of the sweetest people I've met in this community, but you definitely have a bit of a mischievous side, and I always enjoy it because I'm not on the receiving end, thank goodness. Except for the Super Troopers comment, by the way. So, just for that.
All right, perfect.
I've been tagged. Like anytime something Super Troopers comes up, I get tagged in that kind of thing now, and I'm like, you realize that was like 15 years ago, guys.
Yeah.
So
a mustache.
it was a bad choice in look and style. So. And the bad part is because I think you were the first one to say something on Facebook, but Andrew called me 10 minutes before that, like when that picture got posted.
Yeah.
And Andrew said, you just so you know, you look like Farber from Super Troopers. And then here you come in with a comment. And I was like, damn it. Here we go. This is a video we've been trying to get loaded up.
Yep. So my buddy Luke Beard, a lot of you might know him, but he reached out to me and goes, hey, it's my old lady's birthday. Did you do a funny video for her? And she likes Harry Potter. I was like, I can make that work. By the way, that's not really a wand. That's a chopstick. Yep. I do my own video work sometimes too. So this is basically me wishing her a happy birthday.
What would you need a cucumber that size for?
Big salad.
Yeah.
And I finally come up with a great one. And there.
All I see is like the panda mask, a giant cucumber, and a bottle of Evan Williams, and I'm like, where that goes, I don't want to know.
It's a good party.
And just I understand the whole not a wand. I have got a metal chopstick that I use as a stir stick. So
I was like, what the hell can I use for a wand? I look in our utensil drawer and I see this like wooden chopstick. I'm like, that'll work.
here we go. Got some
Yeah.
fun for you guys. So before the
They're condoms with baby roosters, not condoms. About their condoms. Whoa! Wait, somebody got it in the eye up there, I'm pretty sure. Alright, I think this is considered judge grabbing. You're disqualified. Such. I hate to break it to you, but I look like that earlier this.
true story, he really did look like that earlier that morning.
that was a fun costume. That was probably one of my most memorable ones, I would say, because I put a lot of time and thought in that one.
So that was at Monsters Ball this past year in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And it was an 80s theme weekend, and you stole the night with the costume contest.
Well, here's what I do, and you can even ask Dee Dee this, and if you ever reach out to her. I always come home from work every day, and I start off with an idea, and then I come home and I just bug the shit out of her. I'm like, oh my god, I just came up with a better idea that to add on. Like the music I made, I found that song from the original motion picture soundtrack, and it had the little bit of like maybe 15 seconds of the Superman theme song in it. So as I'm making it, I'm like, oh, that's weird. That's the part where Sloth rips open his shirt, but I'll be dressed as Chunk. I'm like, wait a minute. What if I found some sort of maybe Sloth mask and did the same deal as I'm throwing out the candy bars? And I played the song over and over again just to kind of get it in my mind when I need to put the mask on and rip the shirt open just in time. So, I mean, you can even ask you, like, sometimes I even rehearse the stupid shit that I do.
For the record, like, if you guys get a chance, go over to Nick Mott's page. I think those videos are on your page.
Yes.
And check those out. We got another fun video here from Nick. Like, yeah, I had the when Hardee's did the Jurassic Park stuff for Jurassic World, they had the T-Rex head. I ran around with that in my truck for, I don't know, about a month. Like, and what's really fun is I was a trainer at the time, so I trained anybody new coming into the Eastern region for the company, and that was always the first question when they climbed up in the truck was, "What's with the dinosaur?" And I'm like, I was like, "Oh, his name is Pedro, and he's the real boss here." And I always I would position his head in different directions every day.
Yeah.
So like some days he would be like looking straight forward, other days he'd be looking at the trainee and have his mouth open, be like, "Don't fuck up." So.
Yeah, there was even a time like where I was doing like music monologues with that dinosaur, and there's actually one floating around. My one daughter, Sophia, has this one that's a dragon mouth. Like I had the dinosaur one, and she has one that was a dragon. So I put both of my hands. I'm like, what can I do with this? And then I had him singing. I think it was "Time of My Life" from Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, you did the whole scene.
Did the whole scene and even the whole like lift with just the puppets. I think I might have had a couple shots of bourbon in me in my time. I'm not sure. But
I hear Dee Dee in the background.
Sorry. Hi, sorry.
Just came home from the store. Yes, that's her. My love.
Mad loves ever.
Hey. To you and yours, my friend. To you and yours.
So, going into talking about Florida, and we're gonna start kind of wrapping out here just a little bit. So, Mad Biking Florida you guys have been doing a lot. It seems like every year you guys progress and do a little bit more and do a little bit more. I know you guys don't talk about everything that you guys do, because I know there's a lot of stuff you guys do behind the scenes. But it seems like you guys are, gaining more momentum. So this year you guys are getting ready for, you'll do your cornhole tournament, of course.
Yeah.
And then you guys just did the Viking Invasion at the Renaissance Festival.
Yep.
Down in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Which there's a beard competition there. What's next for you guys?
Well, right now we're, like I said, the cornhole tournament is coming up in the fall. We're working on setting a venue up here in Central Florida. Last year up in Jacksonville. This year it'll be more in Central Florida. That way, it's kind of like in the center for everybody to come and join this year. That's one of the big things. We're thinking, Dee Dee, was it September?
September is traditionally when we did it.
September is traditionally when we do it. Because it's starting to get into the fall season down here, and it's starting to get a little cooler. Not much.
College kids.
Not much. But
it goes from 87 degrees to 86 degrees. I mean, I understand.
So, that's probably our next main big event right now. But in between, we do, our monthly meeting, and we do small event. I wouldn't say small events, but small get-togethers to see what else we can do.
Well, that's good. I'm excited to see what's next for you guys. Next competition for you, said you're talking about going down to the World Meet for Villains at the end of April. If you guys can make it.
Yeah, that's
but I know that you're coming this direction in May.
Mm-hmm.
So keep in mind, at the end of the show, I do a roundup or a cleanup, as I call it, and it's talk about the upcoming comps. There is one going on up near Columbus, which I know is a little out of the way for you. But if you guys are around, Kentucky, May the 20th on your way back, I don't know how long you're going to be up there. I would love to have you guys down for the Bearding Without Borders comp. So you can go. You can bring Chunk with you if you want. I don't care.
I'll bring the whole Goonies.
Bring it.
Bring the whole crew.
But honestly, man, I really am glad that I was able to get you on. You're honestly one of my favorite people in this community. I know we don't get a chance to talk a whole hell of a lot because just life gets in the way. Daniel is coming. D is coming for the Bearding Without Borders comp. You might be able to snag a ride with him if you wanted to.
Okay.
You may have to hitchhike, show that hooker leg of yours.
Hell yeah!
Get up there to meet him.
I'll get a ride easy.
For about a half a mile, and then he'll he'll be kicked out of the car. So,
Somebody get out.
but I'd love to, I'd love to spend some time with you guys more, and I definitely want to get you guys back on to talk about the cornhole tournament and the charities of work that you're doing. I know right now you guys just finished up the challenge coins.
Yes.
So those are going to be ordered, or those have been ordered, and then how long before those start coming in?
Well, we were given a target date of May 15th that they'll be in, and our VP, Tim Olcott, will be sending those out as soon as he gets them.
Did you guys order extra, or just the order for the?
We
pre-order?
only could raise enough money just to order the bare minimum. So
I think we still have like around 30 to sell, maybe 37 to
so
sell.
we bought the bare minimum out of club funds. Is that right?
Yeah.
So we do have extra.
What's up, Jared? Daniel said for sure, come on. There you go. Mr. Jared Manis from White Oak Beard Supply. Thank you for jumping in. I'm definitely, I think, I want to say Tim bought or placed out for two for me. So I may go ahead and have to get one ordered. And if we can get it to Kentucky in time, I may put it into a raffle basket that I'm putting together for the Bearding Without Borders comp. And that way we can get another one out there for you guys.
I appreciate that.
Man, anytime.
If anybody's interested, $10 if we deliver in person, $15 to ship.
Yep.
$20 and Nick will do it in a Speedo.
Yes, I'll deliver personally in a Speedo for 20.
Not just any Speedo.
Not just any Speedo, the Mankini from Borat.
So I've got the whole $5,000 Speedo walk challenge going on.
Mm-hmm.
So just so you guys know, it's still a goose egg.
Wait, are you talking about? You're not talking about what's in the Speedo, right?
I'm going to leave that up to the imagination. So,
well, I'll definitely. We'll definitely have to get that word spread around for you.
So, and then it'll be whatever comp, whoever donates the most will get to choose the competition that I do it at. So, as long as it's not nationals, I don't want to go across the stage in nationals. You know what? I mean, if we raise more than 5,000, I'll consider it. So, but other than that, man, I really do appreciate it. Is there anything else you'd like to add on before we go ahead and wrap this up tonight?
Fucking live by the axe, die by the axe.
Amen to that. I hear a nationals walk. All right. Well, man, if you want, I'm going to kick you to the back for a few minutes, and then we'll talk after in the broadcast. Just going to do a quick cleanup. So
sounds good.
Thanks, Nick. All right, guys. That's the show tonight. Kind of getting in there. Just do apologize once again about not being live last week. Got some pretty cool guests lined up going forward over the next few weeks as we get the build up going into the Bearding Without Borders comp. Definitely going to be a good time. As always, guys, Boston Scully, thank you once again for being a sponsor for the show. Bearded Rook for 15% off on the website. They've been releasing some really cool deals on hats lately and some good ones coming up, so make sure you jump into that. Moving forward, also thank you, big shout out to Death Grip. Actually got a care package from them on not only their mustache wax, but Vintage Grooming has some great beard oil and beard balm. The beard balm I'm really digging right now. It's called Night Owl. If you guys get a chance, go check out Vintage Grooming and see what they have in store. Night Owl's got nice citrus. It's real pliable and it holds all day. Been really big fan of their balm so far. Getting into the actual cleanup, of course, we get into the Bearding Without Borders $5,000 Speedo walk. Once again, we raise over $5,000. I'll let you guys choose if you want it to be nationals. I'd rather not do it at nationals, but a deal's a deal. The Bearding Without Borders competition will be the money raised at that competition. Of course, will go to Kentucky Lyme disease, and it will be tying to the $5,000 Speedo walk as well. Beardcalendar.com, of course, guys, is going to be the option to find any competition going on in your area. So, Nick, if you get a chance, man, check out the beardcalendar.com. That's going to be the best place to look for competitions that are coming up, whether it be in Florida, Ohio, wherever you are in the world, you can find a competition near you. Oh, excuse me. So, this weekend, guys, is Wicked Whiskers presents the Whisker Roundup Valhalla Edition up in Leadington, Missouri. If you guys get a chance when you get up here, the sideshow should still be running over on the Bearded Family Network, and they have the Holbies on tonight, as well as Johnny Rodriguez, who I hope to get on the show at some point as well to talk about his artwork. But they are getting ready for their competition going on this weekend. Our very own president of Mad Biking Oklahoma, Mr. Daddy Dan Grits Tackleson, is going to be one of the judges. And, of course, Barefoot will also be up there to have some fun with them. It looks like it's going to be a great competition. Big shout-out to Andrew Orton, who is going up there this weekend as well to represent Mad Biking Kentucky. And good luck with him, his wife Cindy, and his daughter Annabelle in the competition. Going past that, guys, next weekend is going to be the Mid-Atlantic Beard and Mustache Championship going on in Richmond, Virginia, benefiting the Old Dominion firefighters. Was really hoping to make it to this one, but it just wasn't in the cards this year. Mid-Atlantic always does it right. They have always had a great show out for their competition. Of course, it is presented by Honest Amish. If you guys get a chance, please make it out there. Following weekend, we're in the heat of so many good competitions going down. Up in northern Ohio, a little above Columbus, is Beardo de Mayo, put on by the Bearded Villains Ohio chapter. And it is going to be a good time. If I can make that one, just because I love Columbus, and it's not too far, maybe I can justify the trip. Beardo de Mayo is going to be a good time. See if you guys can make it out there if you're in the area. Hell, if you're not in the area and you're only within a few hour drive, I wouldn't miss it if I were you. Beardo de Mayo is going to be a great one to make the trip out to. Going further, we have Bearding Without Borders, the competition, first annual, May the 20th, Harrodsburg, Kentucky, put on with myself, Rockhaven Bourbon Bar, and presented by Honest Amish. Big shout out to the guys from Honest Amish for coming through clutch to help us out and sponsor this competition. I'm definitely excited for this. I'm a little nervous, hoping for a good solid turnout. If you guys get a chance, drop the judge on there. Mr. Andrew Orton is our first announced judge. May go ahead and drop out a specific whaler for my next judge announcement, probably next week. See what happens. So, going past that, guys, you have Talking Beards. The club presents the competition, Volume 3, and that is to, yes, I'm definitely excited as well, Jared. That is to benefit Josh Druin, who is with the Derby City Whisker Club. He has been needing some help with some of his medical bills, and we are excited to make sure that we can support and help him out as well. Of course, presented by Honest Amish, and this will be a facial hair FHL comp. The guys over at FHL gave us the hookup and got us set up for this competition with Talking Beards, the club. I'm rather excited for this one. It's going to be an online competition, so you don't even have to move from your couch. May the 27th, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Mr. Andrew Orton will actually be a judge for that competition as well. So congratulations to Andrew, 2 judging gigs back to back. And you can do it in your underwear. It's probably not on screen. Just saying. So going past that, guys, going on in Gent, West Virginia, we have Appalachian Beard Fest Part 2. Put on by Beard Mob West Virginia and the Bearded Centers Pennsylvania, presented by Mad Viking Beard Club, or Beard Company, sorry. This is going to be a fun one. It's a 3-day weekend. 3-day weekend event. They have got a lot going on between the meet and greet, the competition. There is so much to do out there in that area. I will definitely be there for that one. It's going to be a great time. Once again, that is also an FHL comp. And I am super excited. June the 3rd, 2023, Gent, West Virginia. Do not miss this competition. I am definitely ready for this one. Skyline Lodge, I think, is booked up, but I think there is some other hotels in the area. And we're going to have Mr. Chris Hall, who is president of Beard Mob West Virginia, on here sometime in the next few weeks to talk about this and get a little more detail as well. So there's some pretty cool stuff that's going to be happening that weekend. If you guys can make it to West Virginia, please do. Following weekend in Richmond, Kentucky will be the Bluegrass Beard On, put on by the Beard and Loathing Beard and Mustache Club. These guys are near and dear to my heart. The very first competition that I ever attended was the Beard On competition way back in 2017. So Driz, Eric, and the rest of the group at Beard and Loathing, good friends, and got a lot of love for them. So I hope to see you guys come out there June the 10th, the day before my birthday. So come out and help celebrate my birthday, because I will for sure be there. Going past that, not a lot going on in June. Not a lot more going on in June, but in July, the Hoosier Beard Alliance will be running a charity bowling bash July the 15th up in, I want to say, Jasper, Indiana. They still have plenty of spaces and slots open for teams and sponsorship. Guys, get in on that. If you guys can make it up to Indiana for that, it's going to be a lot of fun. Not a beard competition, but it's still going to be a way to get out there and celebrate and raise money for charity. So going into August, we have Bearded Theater put on by Beard Mob Indiana. Those guys always put out a great show. This year it's going to be at the Crump Theater, which is the historic theater there in Columbus, Indiana. I am not going to lie, I'm super excited for this, just for the history of it. This is the first time a competition of any sort has been run inside this theater, especially in the beard world. So this is going to be a historic event. I definitely am ready for that. That is going to be the August the 12th in Columbus, Indiana. Check out the page and we'll get you some more details going in. Moving out of August and moving straight over to September, we have the Music City Moonshine Classic hosted by Beard Mob Tennessee. Definitely going to be a great time. September 9th, 2023. Last year's competition was so much fun, and this year is going to be just as good, if not better. Bigger location. Definitely don't want to miss this if you guys get a chance to get out there. So definitely a mob competition. Mob is everywhere, and I appreciate you guys for always putting in the work, no matter if it's here, Tennessee, Indiana, Texas, California, it doesn't matter. Mob is always out there representing. So going out of that, guys, that's all I have for this week. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for staying, the couple people that stayed out to the end. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. And remember, always leave things better than how you found it, and always leave a legacy. Good night.